Have you ever wondered why certain people stay in your mind for weeks after only a single conversation? It isn't their car, it isn't their clothes, it isn't their bank account. Those things might catch someone's eye for a second. They don't leave a mark on anyone's heart. Here's the truth most men never figure out. Looks and status might get you noticed, but only one thing makes you genuinely unforgettable, and almost nobody teaches this: the biggest mistake. Most men approach attraction like a performance. They rehearse every word, plan every move, try to say all the right things, avoid every possible mistake, and present a flawless version of themselves. And here's the problem with that. When a date feels like a rehearsal, she feels it. Not consciously, in her gut. Something registers as slightly off, slightly guarded, slightly not real. She starts asking herself questions she can't answer. Why do I feel like I have to be perfect too? Why can't I just relax? That's what happens when you focus on performing instead of connecting. Instead of closing the gap between you, you accidentally build a wall. And here's the painful irony. The more you try to impress her, the more she instinctively steps back. Because chasing approval feels like pressure, and pressure makes people want to leave. What actually creates attraction? Robert Greene wrote about something he called emotional gravity. Think about actual gravity for a moment. You can't force it. You can't manufacture it. It simply exists as a natural pull. Men who carry this quality are grounded, calm, comfortable in their own skin. They don't need to brag or perform or prove anything, because their confidence doesn't come from external validation. It comes from knowing they have genuine value exactly as they are. There is no other man in the world exactly like you. That fact alone, when you actually internalize it, becomes one of the most attractive things a person can possess. This is what's meant by substance. You could be the most conventionally attractive man in the room, but if there's nothing underneath the surface, she won't feel anything worth holding on to. Looks are a book cover. Substance is the story inside. And she needs to feel that story before she'll want to keep reading. The shift that changes everything. When you walk into a conversation believing you need to prove something, you're already starting from a place of lack. That energy radiates outward. Women especially feel it because emotional intelligence is deeply wired into how most women process their environment. But when you walk into that same conversation knowing you have something genuine to offer, everything shifts. You're not there to beg for attention. You're there to share your time, your perspective, your laughter, your actual self. You're genuinely curious about her, not strategically curious to seem interesting, but genuinely interested in who she is. That takes the pressure off both of you. She doesn't feel like she has to decide immediately whether you're good enough. You don't feel like you're running a performance. You're simply two people sharing a real moment. This is presence, and presence is magnetic in a way that no strategy can replicate. What she actually remembers. Here's how female attraction actually works, and it's different from what most men assume. For most women, attraction isn't an instant visual switch. Physical appearance might be the starting point, but what builds attraction over time is entirely different. It's the way you listen, the way you laugh, the way you remember something small she mentioned in passing, the way she feels safe being herself around you, because she can see you're comfortable being yourself. These are the things she thinks about when you're not around. Not your car, not your job title, how you made her feel. And the beautiful thing is, none of this requires perfection. In fact, when you're willing to smile at your own mistakes, admit what you don't know, and show up as a real and complete human being, that is the attraction. That vulnerability, delivered with quiet confidence, signals something she almost never encounters: a man who doesn't need her approval to feel whole. Close. The most powerful thing you can do is stop trying to be the version of yourself you think she wants to see, and start showing up as the version you actually are. That's what makes someone unforgettable. Not perfection, not performance, real, human, grounded presence. Subscribe, and this conversation continues next week.